Welcome to the Losses American Today channel. We're going to portray the famous people who died. Number 1. John David Souther, a Songwriters Hall of Famer whose collaborations with the Eagles, Linda Ronstadt, and James Taylor helped define the country-tinged Laurel Canyon, Southern California rock sound of the 1970s, has died. He was 78. His reps said Souther died peacefully at his home in Sondia Park, NM, but did not provide a cause or date of death. Born John David Souther on November 2, 1945, in Detroit, he went by J.D. sans periods throughout nearly all of his professional career. Souther was raised in Amarillo, Texas. He moved to Los Angeles in the late 1960s, where he soon and fortuitously formed a band called Long Branch Penny Whistle with musician-songwriter Glenn Frey, a fellow Detroit native. The two would continue their songwriting collaboration even after Frey went on to co-found the Eagles, one of the most successful rock bands in history. Together, Souther and Frey would contribute some of the Eagles' most enduring and beloved songs, including Best of My Love, New Kid in Town, and James Dean. With Frey, Eagles bandmate Don Henley, and rocker Bob Seger, Souther wrote Heartache Tonight, a one hit for the Eagles in 1979 that capped a decade of the band's massive popularity and influence. A cornerstone of the early 70s Los Angeles music scene centered around the rustic yet posh Laurel Canyon area and the Troubadour Bar in West Hollywood. Souther collaborated with, or merely befriended, some of the most impactful musicians of the era, including Taylor, Joni Mitchell, Neil Young, Randy Newman, Poco, the Flying Burrito Brothers, and a young singer from Tucson, AZ, named Linda Ronstadt. Souther and Ronstadt would become a couple during those years, though their musical collaborations and lifelong friendship would outlast the romance. Among other projects, Souther co-produced her 1973 album Don't Cry Now, writing 3 songs for the record, including the title tune. He would continue writing songs for, and occasionally singing duets with, the singer throughout her country rock stardom of the 1970s, including numbers for her chart-topping albums Heart Like a Wheel. He also recorded several duets with her, including Prisoner in Disguise, Sometimes You Can't Win, and Hearts Against the Wind. The latter was featured in the 1980 film Urban Cowboy, and is the last song on its triple platinum soundtrack, which hit No. 3 on the Billboard 200. Other songs he penned include Run Like a Thief for Bonnie Raitt and the collaboration with James Taylor, Her Town 2, which reached No. 11 on the Billboard Hot 100. He also sang vocals on songs by Don Henley, Christopher Cross, Dan Fogelberg, and Roy Orbison during his induction into the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 2013. Souther was lauded as a principal architect of the Southern California sound and a major influence on a generation of songwriters. Although he'd primarily be recognized for his songwriting skills, Souther would also enjoy his own performing career, releasing more than a half-dozen solo albums from 1972 to 2015. In the early 70s, he formed the Souther Hillman Furay Band, a sort of Eagles-like supergroup with the Byrds' Chris Hillman and Poco's Richie Furay. The title track from his third album. It reaching No. 1 on adult contemporary radio and No. 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 pop chart. Souther also had a sideline career as an actor, appearing on such TV series as 30-something, Purgatory, and recurring as songwriter Wattie White on Season 1 of Nashville, and in films including Postcards from the Edge, My Girl 2, and Deadline. But he never stopped writing and performing. At the time of his death, he was set to embark on a tour with the singer Carla Bonoff. Souther is survived by his 2 sisters, his former wife Sarah Souther and stepdaughter Anja Nicholson. The family suggested that donations be made to Best Friends Animal Society. Number 2.
Emily Gold. America's Got Talent contestant Emily Gold, who competed on the show's 19th season as part of Los Osos High School dance team, died Sept. 14. The San Bernardino County Sheriff Coroner Department confirmed Tuyo that the 17-year-old died by suicide, weeks after the group performed routines to Usher, the Black Eyed Peas, and more during auditions and the quarterfinals round, when they were eliminated. After her death, loved ones raised more than $50,000 for her family through a GoFundMe campaign.
Number 3. Kenneth Cope. Kenneth Cope, a British TV star who had acclaimed roles in the 1960s and 70s, died September 11th at 93. A Liverpool native, Cope studied acting at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. His two most famous roles were as Jed Stone on the working-class soap opera Coronation Street, a role he originally played from 1961 to 1966 and then returned to in 2008, and as the titular Marty Hopkirk on Randall and Hopkirk Deceased, a murdered detective who comes back as a ghost to help his surviving partner solve the crime. In the United States, it was known as My Partner the Ghost.